discussion. Know where it's going to be best for me to reach.
You got a card or anything like that I can pull out?
Okay, here we go. All right, kick it back on. Welcome, this is the Whiskey Roundtable. We are your hosts. I'm Joe Clark.
Big G.
Karen Helen Keller.
Doug Dunbar.
I'm Albert Santilli.
Just want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. Sorry about that. I had a couple technical difficulties, so I'm kind of wrapping my head around it. But I want to thank you for joining us tonight. Be sure to view us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. If you want to be a guest on the show, you know the drill. Message us, bring your favorite bottle of whiskey, and we will accommodate if you have to bring something that's rare and needs to be opened, preferably your favorite bottle of whiskey unopened, unless the otherwise stated. On our show tonight, we are featuring Willet Pot Still, as you can see there. We got the two big boys. We got the mini one there, the 175. Then we got some glasses spread out there. Greg and everybody made some pizzas tonight. Or I should say Sidecar, who is not visible.
Kitchen bitch.
I'm here.
He's wearing nothing but an apron, folks. It's a good thing he's not on TV.
These are still showing.
So it seems like,
that
Eric says seems like there's some ugly bottles there. There's no ugly bottles there.
Oh
Shit's
my
good.
goodness, Eric. What are you saying?
I don't know, Eric, are you not a fan? I don't know.
Yeah, what's up with that? Were you not a fan? You don't like this or what?
Because, I'm a little apprehensive. I haven't tried pot still in quite a while. Didn't care for it before.
I love it. I really, the more time has gone on, I've actually liked it even more. I guess, I don't know, acquired more of a taste for it. But we've liked it since, for years, Greg.
Yeah, I agree. So,
Looking forward.
yeah, I'd like to say welcome back, Mr. Albert
Go back,
Santilli.
though!
Welcome back. You're still as cute as
I
ever.
just got in from D.C. today, like an hour ago.
Yeah, you called me when you landed, so I appreciate you back. Me and Albert talked. He's got a lot of things going on, so I don't know if he'll be a regular, so to say. He's always a part of the Whiskey Roundtable. He knows that, but depending on what he's got going on with business, he may be here some days, and some days he won't be here. And that's fine, but we always hope that he comes back for the after party. So I also want to give a shout out to our sponsors, the Cleveland Bourbon Co-op. Thank you guys for all you do. Appreciate you. The Royal Havana cigars. Thanks Dave Somrock for everything that you guys do for us as well. We're going to be doing a live show there in a few weeks, so that'll be fun. I know we're going to have raffles and all kinds of things, so I'm kind of hoping that we get a big group from the Cleveland Bourbon Co-op to come out there for that entertainment night. That'll be a good time. Plus, we have the Village Martini and Clifton Martini. Jeff Rumplick does a great job. We don't have his sign up, but Jackson Gray Jewelers is another one of our sponsors. We got a new sponsor, the Wine Reserve in Bainbridge, Ohio, just out of Chagrin Falls. And over in Aurora, same thing, over there by the old Jogga Lake. So check them out. We have the Jazz Ensemble, Albert Santilli, who does a great job. He's been traveling doing some music. We appreciate him. Naked.
Hey now.
Hey, I'm just trying to give the viewers the truth.
And and then we want to talk about Premier Automotive as always. Joe's place and does a great job over there on Richmond Road and Miles. Check them out. You guys got BMWs or any car,
Yugos, specialize in Yugos.
And bicycles as well.
Nothing but the best.
So I think that's everybody.
We always like to ride the neighborhood bicycle.
Yes.
What was her name again?
I don't remember. She wasn't very attractive. I think her name was Huffy.
So Judy and Steve, if you're out there listening today, you talked about incorporating some food into the show, and Sidecar has done that. He's made 2 homemade pizzas for us, and we like them today, but we might not like them tomorrow. But we're gonna.
I don't know. We just tried the pizza. Ask us in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
If we're running off camera to go to the bathroom.
Ask as us tomorrow. But so I appreciate that, Judy. It was a good idea. And so what do we got today, Joe?
What are you smoking?
So I just came from a cigar event at the Royal Havana Cigar, and I'm not smoking. Our event was for CAO, which is, again, one of my favorite cigars, but I am not smoking that today because all the cigars that I bought taking on a little trip, so they're going to go with me. But I am smoking an Alec Bradley Max. So this is a 60 ring gauge, and it's a 10-inch long cigar. It's a Costa Rica blend binder, if you will, and Ecuadorian Habano wrapper. So that's what I'm smoking today.
Okay, Albert, you got anything going on?
I'm chilling out. Actually, yesterday I was smoking a hooligan.
Hooligan's a good cigar.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly
So
what you're
it's
smoking.
a blend between a Maduro
Right.
and a green
Right.
lighter wrap.
So we call it the barbershop cigar. So
That's it.
that's a very, very good cigar, and I have some.
Yeah. I'm just taking it easy after that.
We'll go after.
I just kicked on the credits by accident, and we're just going to stop talking for a second. I have so many hotkeys now. I'm getting used to this now that the connection's good, and I can't really.
Sometimes life some people don't get that.
Yeah. Except now we're just going to go through credits, and wow, we've had a whole lot of interesting things happen today. So we're just going to sit here and wait for the credits to end.
So they just see the credits, but they can hear us.
They can hear us too, but there's music playing on the credits too, so they're probably hearing us and music at the same
and
time.
the other music. And
Yeah, what the-
so anyway,
So hang on just 1 second.
I'm glad that I could at least contribute to your technical difficulties today. What happened?
So yeah, all right. So back to the regular show. So I'm not going to keep typing back because I didn't realize having all these hotkeys. I'm trying to contact people here on credits are done.
It's
I see
all,
that thing.
look at
Sorry
Glenn.
about that.
Look at Eric.
The show's over already. He's already. I know. He's like, hey, what's going on here? But all right. So we're back to this, and
So you're talking about your cigars? Is that what you? Where you?
yeah,
were
he
at?
had the cigars. Repeat the cigars. He's not. Greg, get back into that.
All right, so like I said, I was just at a cigar event at Royal Havana for CAO cigars, and I bought a bunch to take on a trip, so I'm not smoking any of those. I'm smoking a Alec Bradley Max, which is a Costa Rica binder with a Habano Ecuadorian wrapper. So it's a full body cigar, very good cigar. And you were smoking the Hooligan.
That's right. I was smoking the barbershop hooligan down at a little Irish pub in Washington. Well, it's Alexandria, just south of Washington, D.C.
Right.
It's called the Irish Whisper. Was the name of the pub. So they were handing out hooligans.
Cool.
Great time.
That's a great cigar to hand out. Nothing wrong with that. Beautiful. So what do you got, Joey Clark?
I have an admin asking me where we're at. He said we got the whole co-op sitting around waiting for you. I said we are live. We provided the link, and we are on YouTube right now. And we will be hanging out with you guys on Facebook after the show here. We just wanted to test again on YouTube because we had so many issues with it before. It seems like we have ironed out the issues. We have no streaming issues anymore. So it's
We were good.
it's nothing. I got no suggestions from YouTube at this point. So I'm just telling Carl here, hang on Facebook afterwards. Let me provide him the link. Paste.
So you're hoping in the future to do both YouTube and
We are
going to
do YouTube and the co-op at the exact same time. So when we stream live, it'll hit both. So our YouTube fans can come on and look and watch, and all our co-op and Facebook fans
It's really
can
cool.
get on there
guys
and do
know,
that.
I just saw Carl maybe 2 weeks ago at the Whiskey House in Coventry, Cleveland Heights, Ohio. It's a great place.
Yeah, we're just talking about that. So, they're revamping all of their inventory. Actually, I think it was you me and you were talking about that, where they're checking the prices and doing all kinds of stuff. So we would like to go there one evening or one day during the weekend, maybe for a luncheon trip, so to say, and get the table together and all of us roll out there and hang out. I think that'd be a great idea. So just check out what they got. Throw them some business. They do support us, and let's do what we can for them. So.
And which place is that? I didn't catch that. I'm sorry, I'm paying attention.
The
a lot
Whiskey
here.
House. Actually,
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So not only did Albert talk about that to me sitting on the porch, but Carl as well. Carl did a lengthy thing on that about 2 weeks ago about they got new management in there, and they're really striving to be successful. So let's roll out there somewhere.
Where are they located?
They're in Cleveland Heights. on Covent. And is that what is that Coventry?
Coventry Road. You're right next to the grog shop. It's been there for
Right.
a while.
Oh, yeah. So,
I just want to make sure before. Oh yeah, okay, that was earlier. He was saying low mic. I fixed that issue. We should be good there. All the EQ's good at this time. Sorry guys, this has been so a little bit of different issues, but it looks like we got the streaming and the sound going good, and that's basically what we're striving for here.
Many sleepless nights trying to put this
sharing
together.
Yes,
so.
yes. We've been figuring this out, and I think we finally have it figured out in general. And
At least at this
Doug's
moment
back,
in
Mr.
time.
Big Sexy again.
Dougie, how was your trip, man? You were all over the friggin' place.
I was in rainy, cold Minneapolis for a week.
Yeah. Like we say in the
Going
country
to-
over here is you're like horse shit. You're all over.
Yeah.
So too funny. So Snapperhead, you watching tonight? You said you might be watching. If you're watching, send me a text message.
Information I can take.
And so Snapper's going on this big event tomorrow. So maybe he'll call in later and tell us about it. I'm a little jealous. But
Down in Kentucky?
Down in Kentucky.
Mm.
Kicking ass and taking names. That's what I'm talking about. Appreciate it.
Okay. What do you think?
What do I think about
What do you
what?
think about what?
Let's pass out these glasses.
Let's pass out
Let
these
them
glasses.
breathe. Have Karen give us some history.
Somebody's a little impatient tonight.
Man, it's time to drink.
Two.
I haven't had shit.
Where's Sidecar?
Classic
Isn't
Friday
Sidecar
here.
will get a drink? Sidecar, you have to come up here and pour yourself a little something, something. Make yourself known a little bit. You made that bad.
This one?
Oh,
Whose big
my
hairy arm
goodness.
is that?
Jesus.
Oh my
Last
god.
time I saw an arm like that, it had
Proper
shits
show.
on the other end. That's a guy. There you go.
Nice.
Oh, you're stingy, man. I can't believe how stingy you are with this.
Hey, I've had pot still before, and we need to respect it. A little bit goes a long way. with
Albert is a big fan of pot still.
Yes, he is.
He's a very big fan of pot still.
I got
So
a few drinks going on
Thank
here.
you.
you ain't gonna pour us our little of our sipping cup?
Oh,
there?
he's already smelling. All right. So should I run into it? Let's
Yeah,
get some
let's,
What
information.
in the sipping cup?
Let's get a little history.
I didn't
So-
mean, no, we're sharing. We're sharing.
Yeah,
Oh!
we're like lovers. We're gonna share.
Is this
over here.
what is that?
Spooning?
Something in the Hound.
Fox and the Hound?
The Fox and the Hound. Is
I
that
don't
what it
know.
was?
Milo and Otis?
They
I
were
don't-
the noodle. They started sucking the noodle in, and then they
Lady
they
and the
made
Tramp.
out. Lady and the Tramp.
Hey, guys, it's no secret. Greg missed me.
Which one's Lady and the Tramp?
Oh dear. Oh dear. Anyway, okay, so on that note, rolling into Willet Pot Still, I started doing my research this week, and I noticed I was like, I know this from somewhere. Where did I get all this information before? So I went back in the archives for a couple months. We did the old Bardstown back in March,
Yeah.
and that's where the crossover was coming from. I couldn't figure it out where it was
Stick to the
coming from.
clutch.
So. Okay, no, we can't play this while I'm talking. This is great.
Oh, it's telling you to shut the fuck up,
I
Karen.
know, right?
I heard. I've been playing that song
She
for
played
20
it for
years.
That's our STFU.
20 years I've been playing that song.
Yeah, I won't tell you what song I've been playing. Anyway,
We got to come up with one. All right, go ahead. Sorry. All right, Karen, we're interrupting you.
no, I don't mind. I'm used to it. Anyway, so yeah, Old Bardstown. We did a couple months ago, so I don't want to break into too much history. I try to get some different things here. Willet family, again, they do Bardstown. They broke ground on their farm back in 1936 to build the distillery. And it was founded by Aloysius Lambert Thompson Willet, who's also known as Thompson. And his family had actually been in the distilling business long before 1936. So his father, who has the same name, minus the Thompson, he actually started getting into the distilling business at 15 years old. And that would have been at Thompson's grandfather. Are you done over there?
Can you turn your volume off, please?
So
Damn chefs. Watch out, I'll be wheeling a knife
You want
here
a
in a minute.
cheese pizza? I'll be right over.
he's got it on vibrate.
Yeah.
It's sitting on his apron. Anyway, so Thompson's grandfather actually was a third owner of the Moore Willet Frankie distiller back in Kentucky. So he had been in the distilling. His family had been in the distilling business for some time. Some of the other products we talked about, we did the Old Bardstown. That came out in 1940. They also do, Willet also does Johnny Drum. That came out in the 1960s.
I forgot about that.
Yep. 1990s, Willet came out with their small batch collection, which includes Rowan's Creek, Noah's Mill, Kentucky Vintage, and one of your favorites, Joe, Pure Kentucky.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely.
I keep, I see Rowan Creek. Let's Queek. Yeah. Did I say Queef?
Rowan's Creek is
Rowan's Queef. Anyway, I see Rowan's Queef. Creek. Oh yeah.
Take two.
My cigar is drunk. Thank you very much.
Your cigar's drunk?
My cigar is drunk. But anyway,
Is that like your shoes fell asleep?
my shoes fell asleep. That's a true story. One time my shoes fell asleep. That's for another day. But I never buy it, and they're they have it readily available out of the state, and I see it all the time. And I don't buy it, but we're going to be traveling here pretty quick, and I will bring home some Rowan's Creek.
You know what I want to get when we're out, and I'm sorry, I'm like way off the mark here, but we're going to be down in Myrtle Beach next week. I want to check out that Kill Devil rum and see if we can get some of their products.
I'm not a fan of Kill Devil rum, but the pecan honey is fantastic.
It is really good.
So I don't know if we'll be able to. And it only comes out certain times of the year. I don't know. It usually comes out in the fall. I don't think they'll have it.
Joe,
this
do you
time of
remember
year.
when we tried? I brought some Rowan's Creek back from New Orleans. I think it was
Yeah,
aged
yeah.
in Rowan's Creek. I think you and I opened that bottle together.
Yeah, yeah, it was good.
The bastards. But was that the night you guys went over next door, and I woke up in the morning and the dogs were outside and the front door was open and all that good stuff?
Or you were trying to open that bottle in the dark and not wake up Heather's parents?
Yeah, what day was that? Yeah.
Hey, you can do anything you want in this world as long as it's a misdemeanor.
What do you always say? Drunk and orderly.
Yeah.
Drunk and orderly, that's
Too
right.
funny. So go ahead.
All right, no, just a couple more notes. Moving on into 2008, Willet came out with the Willet Family Estate Bottled Bourbon and the Willet Family Estate Bottled Rye. And also, our feature tonight, which is the Willet Pot Still Reserve Bourbon. Came out in 2008.
And that's copper still, right? Is that right?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know. Somebody
I'm
knows.
almost
Eric
positive.
Black, you're
I would
watching.
think
It's
so.
copper still.
So the pot still, it's a 94 proof. It's aged anywhere between 8 and 10 years. We're featuring both, like you mentioned, both size bottles, the 750 milliliter and the 1.75 liter bottles. Each bottle is sealed with a label that should identify the actual barrel age.
Correct.
Since it's anywhere between 8 and 10 years.
Correct.
In 2015, it changed from a single barrel to a small batch bourbon. And then a couple awards. First year it came out at the San Francisco World Spirits Competition. It won a double gold for packaging design, which the actual bottle is a replica of the original pot still that Willet used back in the day. So they used the blueprints from the pot still to actually design the bottle. So
If you actually, I have actually looked up the Willet pot still in the past, and it does show the original. Well, it did on their website. I don't know if it still does now, but it did show those copper stills, which is exactly the shape of that bottle.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff.
Same competition, San Francisco 2008, it won a gold medal for taste. So first year out, won a gold medal for taste. So 11 years later, let's see what we think.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
Yes.
what we got.
What do you got on the nose there, Big Sexy?
Right.
I won't touch that one.
What's on your
So
nose?
the
Big
official
Sexy?
description is, don't let the bottle take over the conversation. The juice in this bottle stands up and deserves the fancy packaging. It may be a little difficult to pour, but you will be well rewarded with what you get in the glass. A small batch bourbon that should be consumed neat or with a few rocks.
Okay.
Tasting notes.
Yep.
The nose smells like all the great qualities of the barrel it was aged in. Wood, a bit of char giving way to citrus. On the palate, the wood characteristics continue with the addition to some leather and rye bread. The finish long and varies. Runs from caramel, floral, herbal, and apple notes.
I get the apple for sure.
There
I
you
get a lot
have
of
it.
apple. I got a lot of fruit.
It's a bit fruity.
I get oak out of it. I get mostly oak and fruit. Apple, I get a lot of apple out of it. It smells awesome.
Oh, I get the
I love-
leather right away.
I love the smell of it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
Very light, consistent, looks great, beautiful.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm being quiet here. I'm not trying to avoid anything, but I'm getting people telling me that there's problems.
Okay, what are our problems?
He said, Carl was telling me that it was lagging on his side. It might be on his side because I'm not getting any.
Yeah, we're not getting
Any
any
lag.
lag at all.
But I mean, there's only like 2 viewers at
Could
this
be an
point.
internet connection thing.
Yeah.
Wherever
I guess-
Carl's stream from. Does it say
Everybody
it's
wanted us
rye?
to be on Facebook.
Did you
I don't
say
know
it's
why.
Rye bread.
Okay.
I get the leather and the herbal notes. Full disclosure, I've been fighting an allergy or a cold or something, so I don't know how reliable my
Get a little.
nose is going to be
I
today.
get a little alcohol out of it, but I don't get a little, you know, it doesn't, it's not burning, it's actually pleasing. I like it. What do you think, Joe?
All right, I'm just going to come back to the show here and get back to it. And let me see.
Smells good.
Some nice
I get
leather.
tons of caramel on it,
Yeah.
man. Is that what you're getting, Doug?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like pecan almost.
Good
Like
stuff.
pralines or.
Ready to go in, kids?
I've been ready.
All right,
I'll let you
let's
know.
do it. Let's give it a taste.
I get a lot more alcohol on the taste.
You get a lot more alcohol in
There's
the
some
taste.
nutty caramel in there, like sort of interesting.
I still get that apple taste, a little bit of fruit. So actually, it's got a sweetness to it. I get the first thing I noticed as soon as it could be the cigar, so I apologize, but I had a quick dryness for a quick second, and then it was gone. And again, that could be the cigar. So
Right.
let me cleanse my palate here.
I will tell you, since I've tried it last, maybe I'm just getting used to drinking bourbon with you guys, but it's not as harsh as I remember it. Not
No.
as strong. For 94 proof, though, it's got some kick to it.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it does
Yes, it
have some
does.
kick.
I agree. Yep. I like it. I think for a drink like this, I think that
Much better.
this is definitely an experienced bourbon connoisseur's drink. That's good. Okay, Carl says it's going great. Maybe it was something on his side because I was trying to figure out, make sure everything was going okay. It seems to be fine. That's what my main concern was here. Didn't mean to be a dead horse here.
No, that's
you know,
okay.
with you guys, I'm
You
just
wanna
trying to make sure
Make sure
this is going
everybody's
smooth.
enjoying the show. I get
Yeah,
it.
right,
Well,
right.
You're the tech guy, so you got it.
Right. Sorry about that, guys. I didn't mean to be non-vocal on it.
I'm
So-
getting the
We are actually enjoying
herbal
the
and
break.
floral notes on the finish really well.
Right, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, you know, you said apple. I get a lot of apple smell out of it. I didn't get I can taste the fruit in it, but I didn't get the nose was a lot more stronger than the actual taste. So
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of apple and caramel on the nose on that.
it's very good. I love the smell. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the smell. I get the leather smell, but
Yeah.
the smell and the taste is so
Yeah.
totally opposite. For me, I'm
Yeah,
not
no,
picking up the fruit on the nose or anything.
Nice.
I think the rye bread is hiding in there. It's like you can really pull it out though. Get hints
Yeah, I
of
get that
kind
in
of
the
stuff.
taste,
Some
but
type
I
of
don't get it. in the-
seeds or nuts. Like I would not too much of that, but
Get
you know
nuts
what I
on the
mean? You know what
nose?
I mean?
You're getting nuts again.
Getting it on the-
Shaven or
yeah, remember when you were little and you get the fruit cut and every other
Oh, you
kid
like
would come
that?
over?
so you got a fresh coin purse on the nose.
Yeah.
Oh my!
It's good. It's I like it. It's good. You know, I've always liked pot still. You know, when I first
Solid
tried it, I
food.
was still learning.
That's good.
Learning the the differences between whiskeys, and at the first time I ever tried it, I could take it or leave it, and then as I got acclimated, so to say, and Joe and Albert both, because this is one of Albert's favorites, made me try it again, and it's become very enjoyable to me. So I like it. Thumbs up for me.
Yeah, cool.
2 thumbs up for me.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about.
4 thumbs up for me.
All right.
I like it. This is one of my favorites. It's like an old school drink for me and you. We've been drinking this for years. I really like it. I don't know what the beef is, you know, but everybody has their taste. So Eric Von Hotch is here. Some people logging on
Eric.
late.
It's okay. It's all good. It's all good.
I don't know. What do you guys think? Maybe we go on
Definite big
Facebook.
thumb up for me.
Oh, sorry. Definitely. Yes. Maybe we'll do like another. Since we had some issues here today and stuff like that, I'm going to leave the show up on YouTube because I think it was a good show overall so far. But maybe we'll do we'll open up to Facebook on do a mini show real quick for them for this again for people that missed out.
We can do that.
If there were some issues on the other end, but on our end, this is a good test. This show, I think, for being live, we've had so many issues going live, and I believe, Greg, that we have everything sorted out here, and it's gonna be good from here on out.
Good.
Yeah, we're good. I got all the
That's what I'm talking about.
things tweaked on here as we've been going on. They give you
We're going
suggestions
to,
on YouTube. Try this, try that, and it's no more suggestions anymore.
Well, I want to make sure the Whiskey Wizard, who's back in town on his old stomping grounds over here. So when do we want to address Big Sexy? It's been gone forever.
Right. He
2
has.
weeks.
He has. So are you
Seems like a long time.
Let's chime into the Whiskey Wizard.
Okay. Well, this will be a relaxed live version,
That's fine.
interactive.
Okay.
So
Anybody's got any
feel free to
comments?
chime in or
Feel
ask
free to ask some
questions.
questions.
This would
Exactly.
be our fourth Whiskey Wizard segment. And last time we finished up with talking about the distillation process.
Correct.
So today we're going to talk about barrel maturation, and we got through all that process of getting that hard won new make spirit, and so now it's time for it to go into the barrel. And the maturation process really begins with, in a way, the barrel and the making of the barrel, but coopering, I think, is probably worthy of being its own topic. So we'll save that for another time. Just suffice it to say that there are no amateur barrel makers.
For sure.
That's a skill that's hard won.
And not
most
everybody
guys
can-
are pretty proud.
most people can't do it, exactly
Tight knit
right.
lot. So we'll cover that in some future time. Well, barrels for whiskey maturation are made of European oak or white American oak, and the trees selected are usually between 70 and 200 years old.
Wow.
So about 75% of the whiskey's flavor and 100% of its color comes from the barrel. Bourbon must be aged in a new oak barrel, and it must be charred on the inside. And really, it's got to be at least a minimum of 2 years to be considered straight bourbon. So a lot of people think, well, straight bourbon has to come from Kentucky, or bourbon has to come from Kentucky, but that's not true. And bourbon, to be a bourbon, it really just has to go through new oak, spend some time in new oak and new charred oak. So I guess technically you could, if you could make a funnel out of charred oak, you could pour that right through it into a bottle, and technically you'd have bourbon. But again, 2 years to be considered straight bourbon. So the oak has a compound in it called tylosis, which really gives it that ability to hold liquid so well, but at the same time, that structure in the oak allows for an exchange of air and oxygen from the outside elements. It also allows air to get from the outside of the barrel, or the inside of the barrel, to the outside as well. And so that's what ends up causing a little bit of loss, evaporation from the barrel, and what's called the angel share coming out of there. But it's that ability to exchange that atmosphere that can lend some of the local environment qualities into the whiskey. A prime example is if you think of a good Islay. So those winds in Scotland come, on the west of Scotland, come basically right off the ocean, blow through those aging houses, and there's a lot of exchange of air between the cask. And that's why you really get that oceanic salt air when you taste a good Islay. And that's where that comes from. So
We in our earlier show we had a guy here from California, and he was we had two guests from California, but the one I'm talking about is John. He brought us to Sonoma County, and he was telling us they do weird things like where they're situated, they get a lot of fog. So they'll actually open up the rick houses and let the fog flow through, and it changes the way the whiskey tastes. It's just always amazing to me how do they figure this stuff out? Like putting something out on a boat and letting it rock in the waves, the Jefferson's Ocean, and and it just pulls more flavor out of the barrels because it's constantly rocking, plus the sea air coming through that, and you get
Right,
some
you
of
got
that.
the difference in temperature, the
Yeah.
humidities.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can, you know, for years, and I know this is a stupid example, but you know, for years I lived here. My parents lived almost 3 miles down the road, and we'd have 10 inches of snow, and their grass would be green. So it doesn't take a long distance to change the atmosphere, so to say. So,
Right.
So that's exactly right.
So before the whiskey goes in the barrels, of course, the finished barrel is toasted. So it basically goes into a toasting oven for several hours, and that gives a chance to caramelize some of the sugars in the oak, and it also gets rid of some of the volatile compounds in the oak that would give it off flavors to the whiskey. So that toasting process is critical. And that's where you get a lot of those kind of vanilla notes, caramel. A lot of that comes from the toasting of the oak.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at my buddy that just drove by.
In a diesel truck. No matter how much soundproofing you do, that guy's going to go over it.
You're in the country now.
So what you were saying about toasted
shoot.
barrels, I remember we went through the char. Remember we did barrel charring.
Did
and
barrel
stuff
charring, yep.
like. You were saying several hours. Of
Yeah, I
the
mean
barrel.
it's up to the distiller, right? But
What, they're baking the barrel before they add
basically,
fire
think
to
of
it?
it. Yeah, it's going into an oven, and we'll see that when we look at one of the staves here. But and then of course,
Okay. You
after
brought
that,
a stave?
yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Do your thing, man. It's kind of cool.
that's
All right,
fine.
my
Might as
bad.
well
All
grab it
right.
out now.
Anyhow, we got it.
Yeah. So here's a stave. Now this is from a barrel that obviously wasn't used to hold whiskey. If it was, you would see in here. You would see actually, you could tell where the line was where the whiskey had penetrated into the barrel.
Can you flip that up a little bit?
And
The
that
other
camera
side.
you're using right there, I got
There
to
you
flip
go.
to you.
Okay.
There you go. So turn it. Yeah.
Okay. So
So
this
this
is actually part of the grain of the wood, but you can even see sometimes like rings on a tree.
Right.
Now
Where the
during-
whiskey has penetrated. So that
Right.
line we're seeing there is where whiskey has penetrated?
Yeah. Look. Show.
Well,
that.
it looks a lot like that. I don't
It
think that's
definitely
actually what
looks like
that
that.
is on this one.
Okay.
I'll tell you, it looks like it.
This is maybe a number 3 char, so you can see. So after they toast that barrel, and you can see the toasting is really on the outside. You can really see that,
Yeah.
and that long temperature, I said, gets rid of those volatiles that you don't want. So, but now it goes through this charring process, which is really a high temperature blast of flame. It's really literally only 10-15 seconds.
All right.
But and you don't have that footage that I gave you, but I
No,
just had
I
it.
don't. We had so many
Yeah.
issues I couldn't set it up right away. Sorry.
So now what the charring does is, I got this all over me, but this as the whiskey is in the barrel, it during the warmer seasons that that liquid expands in there and really penetrates through this char layer, and so that carbon really helps remove a lot of other unwanted compounds out of the
Impurities.
whiskey.
Sure.
And now, as that whiskey meets the wood beneath the char, that's where a lot of the magic happens.
Mm-hmm.
And although there's a whole range of compounds that interact, and it's a pretty long list that are attributed to give the whiskey a lot of the qualities that it ends up having. Color, of course, as we said, also. So.
I wonder what charred pot still is.
Yeah, I couldn't find it. I couldn't even find the mash bill on pot still. So, Willet seems to be really secretive. When we did Old Bardstown, they wouldn't even talk about where the distillery was. So there's a lot of mystery around it, and it's interesting. It's a good question to ask. If anybody knows Eric Black, come on. You're a plethora of knowledge.
Yeah, Eric, wake up.
Go, Eric. Get
There's
your
like
birthday.
4 levels of char,
That's right.
1 through 4, with 4 being the highest, and that's often referred to as alligator char, because the blistering of the wood gets that
Right.
look like
Yeah,
an alligator's
yeah.
back. So
It actually looks like it's been shaved, so to say.
yeah,
If you look hard, you can see where
Fine
the
person.
blocks of maybe a heavy char once existed, so to say. So.
now in the colder months, then that liquid pulls back out of the wood,
That's pretty cool.
bringing everything with it.
So I think
So-
it almost looks like a heavy char to me, but I could be wrong.
I think
but-
it's like a 3.
Is it a 3?
I don't know if
I just want to make sure.
Put that
Did
back to-
you check the table, Greg?
Let's see.
What's that? Check what?
I mean, did
Yeah.
you cut that out of the table, or?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Greg, there's a spot
I
missing.
was going to say, there's a couple
You
hollow
didn't bring
spots over here.
shit.
Going, no wonder this table's leaning sexy.
So you brought a couple of those, Doug. Are they the same?
Yeah, it looks about the same to me.
Is that from the same barrel, or
It doesn't.
you're
It didn't
not
say.
sure.
I ordered
Okay.
them online, but
okay?
I didn't really have nothing. Really came with it to give you a whole lot of explanation.
That's pretty cool, though.
About its origins, but this has the same thing. So maybe this did have whiskey in it. Did you see that? You can still see. You still see a
Sure.
I
same
still
line
see,
in
yeah.
this
See,
one,
I'm
so-
seeing that stain there on there, and
So-
it doesn't look like a wood.
No, it
Yeah.
looks like a
So that's
liquid
that
stain.
probably is from the whiskey.
Hey, sidecar.
And if
can
you see
can
that,
you
if
lick
that's
the wood?
true on that piece, that penetrated pretty far. I
Well,
mean,
you
look
can
at that
see,
line
yeah.
right there. I mean, it went almost.
Come on, sidecar, you're a wood licker.
Yeah, you're a wood licker.
Ask Billy.
So during those
Oh, you leave my boy
hot
alone.
Kentucky summers, man, that liquid really expands and gets into the wood. So
You know what's interesting? You said, Doug, that it takes
sidecar.
70 years to 100 years for the
Up and
wood
get a
to
couple
mature.
of wet paper
yeah,
towels
they
or a
use
wet
trees that are
towel.
70 to
Just
200
wipe your
years
hands
old.
So, you know,
Thank you.
and me trying to be what's the business person that I am. I don't know if I am, but anyway, like, are there American oak farms?
Man,
Like
I'll tell
there
you,
are
that
Christmas
does
tree
look like a
farms?
whiskey.
Oh,
do
yeah.
people are they growing oak just to, I don't know if you know this or not because I'm kind of winging it, but they grow trees just for the barrel?
Yeah,
It would not
they
Do they
are-
have
they're-
tree farms
It
for
would
that?
not
Yeah,
surprise me.
and we're going to talk more about that when we do the Cooper.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
All right.
so
So,
we'll
all
talk a
right.
little
So
bit
those
more.
questions will
There's
get
a lot that goes into
eventually
selecting
answered.
the right
Okay.
trees and cutting them the right way. And
We will talk about that then.
these do age outside as planks for at least 2 to 3 years in the elements before they're ready to be used.
No
So,
kidding.
Wow.
yeah.
Pretty cool. I know we got some oak trees in the yard, so
We have just a couple,
Well,
mostly maple.
those fuckers are coming down.
I know, right? We got some barrels to
We got some
build.
shit to do.
So now,
See you guys later.
now once we get that liquid in the barrel, then the barrel's going to go into a rick house, right? So now most of them are multi-level, and so each rick house has its own microclimate, and within the rick house, of course, you have a microclimate, and those that are at the highest levels are going to get a lot more heat than those at the ground level. So that's why a lot of distillers will, take selections from different parts and then blend them to get a more consistent product. Now, an exception to that is Four Roses that has a single level rick houses. So they can keep it consistent in all the ground levels. So that's been a decision that they made. And
So
went
Four
to.
Roses is one floor.
All
on
their
the
rick
rick
houses are a single level.
Well, I guess they don't have to worry
So-
about those toppling
so-
over.
No, I bet, right?
Of course, the cost of that is a lot more in real estate
Sure.
to house this.
Yeah, right.
number of
Yeah,
barrels. So, some of them are brick, some are stone, some are metal,
Huh.
some are wood. So all those things lend different
And I've seen like
characteristics.
Buffalo Trace even has open air.
Right. And there's I think Buffalo Trace has something called Rick House X, which is a really modern designed aging house that allows them to do a lot of unique experiments. So I hear that they're really going for trying to develop the perfectly aged bourbon. And they're doing a lot of experimentation. So we'll see. So getting the spirit is only half the battle, and then the rest of it really we have to leave up to the barrel and that careful aging spirit that needs that marriage of the wood and the air and time to work the magic that becomes whiskey. So I think the barrel maturation process comes the close to having a certain amount of magic in it.
Mm-hmm.
But whiskey making doesn't really take magic, as we know. We just think it ought to taste that way.
Exactly right.
That's right.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
So once the whiskey's ready to come out of the barrel, there's some other steps in the commercial making process. We'll pick that up the next time to finish off our whole series on the whole process of making whiskey. So, that's it for this segment of the Whiskey Wizard.
And that's the Whiskey Wizard, guys. We really appreciate that. That was really interesting. I mean, last time you brought the all the different grains, and then you brought the staves this time. That's really cool, man. That you bring these props. That's
awesome.
very beneficial to the show. It's
very
cool,
educational.
man. Yeah,
It
it
is
is actually
very educational,
very
so.
educational. It
And thank God for
left me for wanting more.
yourself and my wife, because otherwise everybody'd be sleeping by now. But nice. What's that?
That's
It is all good. That you guys are very educational. Thank you very much. The Whiskey Wizard, kids. Check them
That's
out
the Whiskey
every
Wizard.
Check
And-
them out every week on the Whiskey Roundtable show. And I just want to give a shout out real quick to my brother Steven in
Oh, for the-
Houston, Texas.
Where's that bell?
Jesus.
You know what that is, Steven. You know what that is. Uh-huh.
Hold on.
I remember her.
I thought I heard something running, like you ever see Jurassic Park? Anybody got a glass of water out there?
Well, that's how it was.
He's got a bottle. It's moving.
It's moving. Oh
Steve,
dear.
Steve always wanted to know where she was in the dorm, and so that was a great idea. I appreciate.
Wait,
your help.
everybody had to be quiet
So-
and watch a glass of water?
But Steve did the show last week. I know we had a lot of technical difficulties. I appreciate that. Thanks for the gifts. It was beautiful. Nancy sat in on the show. Thanks for hanging out with us as well.
As
And
long with sexual chocolate.
sexual chocolate, cousin Damon. That's what I'm talking about. And Margaret and Pierre drove all the way down from Chicago to hang out with us for the weekend. We had a great time. So I look forward to seeing you guys in the future soon. And we'll do our thing as always.
We got Eric Von Hotch, so we don't kick off here on a sour note, and I got to give you guys some news real quick. He said, Willet mash bill is 72% corn, 13% rye, 15% malted barley. Damn, you slacked.
Can you wait? You went way too fast with that. 72%.
72% corn,
Okay.
13% rye,
Rizzi.
and 15% malt liquor.
Right.
Malt liquor. Colt
Malt bar.
45.
Colt 45 in it?
I never knew that they put Colt 45 in. Maybe that's why some people don't like it. I like Colt 45.
Hey, King Cobra is my favorite.
Laser, baby.
Got your 40 ounce.
So we got some news for y'all. And
right.
No news music? What are you slacking?
Dude, we had too many things. We had too many things right before we went live.
We
It
had
all
some
came
stuff.
together, went live. So then I did it for you. So we got some new whiskeys coming out this at the end of May and also June. We got Booker's Shiny Barrel at $80. I don't know what that means, but Eric says it's Schlitz in Willet. Schlitz, good job. Okay.
Really?
And then we got Cream of Kentucky Batch Number 2, no price. Forager's Keep Orphan Barrel coming. George Dickel Bottled in Bond. Rebel Yell Single Barrel 100 proof. Then regular Rebel Yell 100 proof, which will be $20. Old Charter Rye Batch Number 3, that is $90. That's a Buffalo Trace, by the way.
Oh, we got to
Then you
find
got
that.
Old Charter French Oak, which is $70. That's a Buffalo Trace. Then we got Peerless Bourbon. So Peerless always does rye.
Right.
Now Peerless is
Right.
going to release their bourbon. That is brand new, coming in June. 108.9 proof. No price on it yet. And then we have the, I'm sure, elusive Weller Full Proof at $50. We'll never fucking see that unless you want to pay $5,000. Then you can have one.
What was that?
Weller Full Proof.
When's that supposed to hit?
June.
That's tomorrow.
That is tomorrow.
Holy crap.
And don't get excited, kids, because you'll never see it in Ohio.
Well, it's a good thing that we'll be out of state in June.
Yeah.
Good point. Word. Okay, so go look for that, and I'll spot you $50 for one, please.
The farther I get through this, I'm getting a lot more of the fruit.
It's very. I finished
Yeah.
mine. It's
The
very
Willet's
good.
nice.
like
I love it, man.
This
I
is
could
really
chug
nice.
that all night, man.
What is that? What is that for?
So we got
Right.
Heaven Hill 6-year green label was hey, it had met the must-buy list of bourbon. So goodbye to that.
Oh, no.
1792. They have the Downed Warehouse release. Wow, they got that out there quick.
They didn't waste no time.
They didn't waste that. I was thinking like 10 years later, it'd be like $2,500 a bottle, man. 1792 Down Warehouse. Peace. No, they did it like tomorrow.
So
They did it tomorrow, man. So we're back to that, and co-op, lots of awesome off-reps going on in the co-op.
Oh my God, it's been
fantastic
amazing.
off-reps going on. It's kicking off this year really good. Just making sure, guys, get back to me on the Facebook. How are the meetups going? Is everything going good? We need to boot anybody? No, I'm just kidding. But I think we should kick off on the Facebook and hang out. Let's do since we had so many issues here. I mean, not as far as our end, but maybe if we did on their end. I think everything's going well here. We'll do a mini show. We'll kick off Willet on the Facebook. We'll do a little tasting of Willet there, and then we'll do a quick history and a quick news, and maybe a quick backstory. You can just show your pieces or whatever.
All right.
We'll just do like a mini show, real fast, and then we'll just fucking hang out until
Player's Digest version.
call it off at 11:30.
That's fine.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna go grab a cigar.
We're gonna do that, and guys, what I want to do now is we are your hosts. I'm Joe Clark.
Big G.
Karen Helen Keller.
Doug Dunbar.
And Albert Santilli.
And that's it, guys. Thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. I think we have things ironed out. From here on out, it's going to be great. The live shows are going to get better and better as we go on now that we're getting shit finally fixed. And that's it. All right, guys.
All right.
Mic's off.
Be safe.
Outro.